Hey there, it's me RJB from RJB TV, and we return with not Shin against 458, but Minchul against 458. There's a small little correction I've got to make from my previous video, and that is, it's probably not Shin who we were looking at last game. It's most likely that the player here, LLLILL2ILL334IL, is actually Gensay Park or Minchul. Same person. It's not Shin. Most likely not Shin. Because I had a feeling that because Shin usually doesn't say too much in his games. And this person, the barcode person with the numbers, was talking a lot of shit, so to speak. And that means it's most likely Minchul instead of Shin. So small little correction I had to make here at the video. We're watching Minchul against 458 here on the Protoss. And we're starting with a new series because last time Minchul won a best of 5 by just rushing very hard on 458 who couldn't deal with the rushes for some reason. So this time around, Minchul against 458 in another best of 5. A rematch for 458 to show that he can win and not get rushed to death in seemingly very easy manners. I mean, it happens to everyone. Sometimes even some of the best players die very quickly to very well executed rushes. This is basically the level of play where it's a lot of rock, paper, scissors, but also a lot of can't make a single mistake at any point, at any time whatsoever. It's a mistake, your opponent will notice, or these guys, they will notice, and they'll win a game just off of that one mistake. Or just off of winning that one rock, paper, scissors move. If there's a player who's good at rushing, and a player who's good at winning all those kinds of little moves with his instincts, it's Minchul. I thought it was Shin last time, but apparently it is Minchul after all. So 458 here starting off with his usual mid-spawn build order, 2 gateways into a nexus. And try to get a choke. This time around though, looks like Minchul is not rushing him. Minchul is going for a economy build order, going for barracks into command center, bunker, and 2 more barracks. Very different stuff from what we usually see. Actually, I don't think we've ever seen anyone do barracks into command center ever on the channel. This is something completely new, but it's basically just the same as going for triple barracks or going for command center first before the barracks. This is just a little bit safer because you've got that 1 barracks to build some marines. Now it's already got 5 marines here on the map. Looks like 458 is adapting to it. 458 really wants to lay down the punishment, but I don't think that's going to work because there's already 5 marines out there and 2 more barracks are finishing up very soon. You're going to be able to fight back against this zealot cannon push attempt. You're going to try to make it work. If there's a person who can defend this, it is most likely Minchul, because you can see he's got a great SCV control along with his marines. He's not going to let those zealots get on top of his marines and lose the fight. He's going to try to get those cannons up there though. He's going to try to buy himself some time while back at home he's getting a cyber core and double gas, although the cyber core hasn't been started yet. Zealots do a little bit of work. They're dancing back and forth. More zealots are on the way. He really wants to get those cannons finished up, but his SCVs there in the mix are making it pretty difficult, and the bunker finishes just in time, which means that the SCVs are going to have an easy time repairing the bunker if he does go for the bunker. Instead, he's going to try to pick up as many marines and SCVs as he can before basically walking out, because he has to go for the cannons. Minchul going to get the bottom cannon killed. Top cannon going to go down as well, although it finishes, gets 2 shots off, maybe 3. But in the end, Minchul does win the fight there. Most of his marines do stay alive. The marines are inside the bunker. SCVs all return to the minerals now. He didn't lose that much mining time because he's been making SCVs from his 2nd command center all this time. So both players on about equal worker counts. 458 has a 2 worker lead. He'll probably keep that for a little while longer. Cybercore now finally on the way, a little bit delayed, which is gonna basically this rushing attempt from 458 where he tried to adapt into the situation might actually backfire on him. because he invested quite a lot of minerals into this attempted cannon push. He lost about 1 pylon, about 6, 7, 8 zealots in total, 2 cannons. It's a lot of minerals, almost 1,500 minerals that he lost there. 1,500 minerals, and I don't think Minchul lost any minerals, really. He lost a couple SCVs, a couple Marines, but nothing too serious, nothing that even comes close to how many minerals 458 just lost there. There's something to keep in mind here, because Minchul started off with a command center after his first barracks, which means he already has an economic advantage as compared to where he would usually be. Factory also already on the way, and we have an economic disadvantage here for 458, who is no longer very far in the lead. Didn't get much achieved with the cannon push attempt, and now is scrambling as fast as he can to get his usual build order rolling. At the same time, we've got Minchul here, who already has 2 starports on the way, whereas the double robo here in the front are just now finishing up for 458, which means we will have double Reaver out on the map before the shuttles can even fly across with the Reavers that he's most certainly going to make, because he's got support bay on the way and a Citadel of a Dooner in the back for 458. He's still trying to kill some Marines there with his Zealots, but Firebats now on the map, and Firebats are forcing those Zealots to retreat as fast as they can. I think he's got Stim, maybe he's got range soon as well. He might go for the counterattack and hope that he can break through the front door here before 458 actually has adequate defenses up here in the front. Got a 3rd robo on the way. Isn't building any additional cannons. Reavers are being queued up in the robos. Shuttle speed also on the way. You will probably have just enough Zealots in the front. Got about 4 there in the front, picked up a couple of them. Gonna fly them across the hill and see if there's any scouting you can do with the Zealots inside the shuttle. Maybe even stop the construction of a couple turrets on the side. But Minchul saw the Zealots being loaded up with the vision from his Marines just earlier. So he's gonna respond to that. Can't pick up all of his Zealots, but he picked up only 1. He's gonna lose 2 of them, kill a couple Marines, but not get any useful information other than the fact that Minchul pulled his Marines away from the front, back to his own base, and is now in defensive mode. Raids have finished up. He can start hunting for shuttles. Got some vision there on the sides from 2 Firebats. We got an engineering bay there hovering up at the hill. Got a Firebat here across the map. It will soon provide vision here of these minerals there that are right here, to get himself a storm dodge. Also, we got a Raids there hunting for the shuttle, but the shuttle is on top of the cannons, so no, the shuttle not going to go down. But he's going to keep hunting for the shuttle, and he might fly straight into it, depending on the path 458 will take with the shuttle. 458 going for more Reavers, more shuttles here back at home. I don't see a Temple as archived yet, adding on more gateways as well. 2 more, this are same 2 Raids, still hunting for shuttles. Can't quite get on top of the shuttle there in the front. He keeps flying back and forth, really good multitasking. Really good multitasking. Now, one thing I gotta note here, though, is that this player is most likely Minchul. He's playing faster than Minchul usually is. Usually, Minchul is not within the 380 to 370 APM range. But I've been told this is most likely Minchul. Oh, shuttle there doesn't survive. Doesn't make it all the way in. This defensive player from Minchul is actually coming together really, really well. But as I said before, I'm a little bit uncertain whether it's actually Minchul. The ABM is just a little bit higher, but it might just be him. I don't know, because a lot of players have this APM range. Oh, tanks, they're arriving on the scene. Tanks get this shot. It didn't get a shot off. We could hear a shot, but it didn't actually shoot at anything. So all the probes there are alive. This is a very close call there, but it does give us a glimpse of what's going to happen in the near future. Reaver arrives on the scene. 2 Reavers arrive on the scene. Shuttle there overhead. Might try to go from the shuttle. Michael picks 1 Reaver up. Scarab's not exploding on the SCVs there. Does explode on a large group of Marines there. Goes down. Shuttle stays alive. Shuttle still flying around, waiting for 1 more shot from the Reaver. Reaver shoots 1 from ward. Kills 2. A lot of action. Not a lot of kills, surprisingly. Not a lot of kills, but he did get something achieved. Killed a couple Marines and got Minchul's mining interrupted. Now a little thing here, because we've got this hill here in between the 2 players, I expect that Minchul will of course go for a hill tank push with the Raids up above to keep shuttles from unloading Zealots on top of the tanks. Usually that's what happens, but things might not go exactly as Minchul wants it to. Shuttle there comes in, shuttle lands. Tanks on the high ground though are going to kill the Reaver on the low ground, so the Reaver doesn't even do anything whatsoever. Minchul just having a very easy time with his very, very fast playing speed. Just a very fast playing speed. And then more stargates there on the side for more raids, dropships, or Valkyries maybe, not sure. A couple more tanks there. Fine to put them on the high ground. Shuttle there moves in, flies in, nothing in between. It arrives on the scene, gonna unload the Reaver. Reaver shoots on the SCVs. SCVs do go down. It's a large, big shot on those SCVs. One more Scarab there, trying to get through, but can't get through. Reaver in the shuttle, still alive. Still alive. Reaver in the shuttle, still alive. Shoots one more Scarab. Scarab does not it does connect, kills two more. It looks like Minchul went down for about 65, or maybe even 68, all the way down to 33. So that does take the wind out of his sails, but he's going to try to keep up the pace here by continuously loading units across the hill onto the low ground and push towards those roads. 458 there, trying to get carrier technology up as fast as he can. Right after he hit those shuttle Reaver drop on the SVs, he hit him, which gives him the opportunity to use this time frame to get as much done as he can to prepare himself for a proper anti-hill defense. Unloads himself on top of the tanks. Tanks do go, both do go down. Minchul is not really mining gas, he's putting SCVs back on the gas because he realized that if he wants to continue to push, he needs more gas. Drop there comes in, unloaded on top of the hills and on the low ground to take down everything he can. Actually really well done unload. Unloads on almost every single tank on the high ground. Whoa, he saves one of the tanks. Unloads on the low ground. Actually really well done there. He is so aware of what's going on. I really like what Minchul's doing. He's pretty much going all in on this hill push. 458 has stopped dropping. He's now going for interceptor capacity, not yet started, and he's going for carriers, which he has started. But he really has to start interceptor capacity sometime soon. Also getting air armor and shields, which also help for air. Now Minchul here on the low ground here, starting to get his army basically... It's basically got no army left at home. He's just pulling his entire army here next to the hill to go for the push. And he's getting awfully close to those probes. Also, Reavers are on the side, got a dropper on the bottom side. There's a Corsair and a shuttle there. Corsair gets spotted out though. Nothing is moving yet though. Nothing is moving to intercept this. He's going to try to just regularly dodge. Probes are running away. A couple probes did go down. Zealots are coming in. Shuttle gets taken down. Shuttle gets taken down. Bunkers are on the he's even building bunkers here now. Looks like he still wants to win the game. The carriers are on the way, although it's going to take a little while before they finish up. This might actually still go in favor. Oh no, all the probes go back, and the tanks siege up, and 458 loses again. I mean, this is a very disadvantaged situation for 458. Very difficult to play from this specific situation when you are the Protoss. And Minchul, despite losing a lot of SCVs, with the help of that +1 command center early on, and with the help of 458 wasting time with that attempted cannon push of 2 gateways, still gets pushed into a corner. Minchul still wins the game. Really nicely played. The pace was just very high, and he was just unloading all of his units beyond the hill. He was forsaking defense entirely, had almost nothing left in his own base that could help him survive attacks. But 458 had no attacks. He was going for carriers, and the carriers took too long to finish. Just a wrong choice in the early game. It came back to bite him as soon as the game entered the hill abuse phase. Basically what it came down to. Sometimes you make a choice, you accept a risk, and sometimes it doesn't pay off, and you lick your wounds and move to the next game. And now we're in game number 2 of this second best of 5, with Minchul, not to be confused with Shin. Like I did last video, I confused him with Shin. It just looked a lot more like Shin until I saw him BMing 458 in the chat. That was kind of the moment when I had a feeling like, Shin wouldn't BM his opponent in the chat quite like this, so it's probably not Shin, but I wasn't sure. Anyway, if you got Minchul here on the Terran, 4v8 here on the Protoss, the classic Terran against Protoss battle extravaganza between two top-level players on fastest map. Minchul clearly showing himself to be an absolute monster of a player, winning 4 games in a row, 1 Zerg against Protoss and triple Terran against Protoss, and winning all of them pretty damn quick. Maybe 4v8 just went for the wrong choices in all of those games. Maybe he just got extremely outpaced. I don't know. 4v8 is a very good Protoss player, but even the very best players don't always have a good day, and some other players like Minchul probably had an amazing day because he really is performing at his absolute best in these past 4 games. And this 5th game we might see something else. Maybe Minchul's gonna slip up, maybe 4v8 is gonna have an amazing performance that is just impossible to defend against, but so far 458 hasn't had a good showing yet. Not yet. So I really hope that he's going to show up and give us some of that extremely high level 458 Protoss play. This time around, looks like 458 is going to be safe from any rushing attempts yet again. And he's sticking to the build order they intended to. I don't see any signs of attempted cannon pushes when his build order isn't made for cannon pushes against a Terran. I don't see any weird choices yet. As long as 458 sticks to what he intended to do at the start, he is a menace to be dealt with. He hasn't found Minchul yet. Minchul has found him. 2 Marines are in the front, gonna try to kill the probe when he gets in, but he's gonna get... is he gonna get in? He got in, gonna get in formation. We get double factory there in the back. Gonna add on 2 machine shops, not gonna go for vultures first. Looks like all the information that 458 wants has been gathered. Minchul likewise has the same information. He also knows everything that his opponent is up to. Now here's a bit of an early double gas there from Minchul, which kind of makes me believe that Minchul probably is going for a very early game centric build order. Although you would expect him to start off with double Vulture, he's instead going for double tank and siege mode. But the fact that he's double gas and didn't go for a second command center is what makes me believe he's gonna rush. Or not rush, he's gonna try to end this quick, just like he did with the other 4 games. He ended all those games really fast. And now he's trying to do it again. He's all there being annoying, but there's only 3 Marines to defend against this. He kind of manages to juke the Marines, but 458 Minchul catches on that, oh, where'd that Marine go? I can't see it anymore. So he goes back in, gets more information, sees there's still no command center being added on, and still no 3rd or 4th factory, and also no dropship. So this is going to be a very early pushing attempt, and it looks like 458 is adapting and adjusting to what Minchul is doing after all. He's going for robotics and for 4 gateways in total. And he's going for Dragoon range and Dragoons. He's going to try to nip this rushing attempt or this push attempt from Minchul in the bud. Finds a Vulture there. Vulture does go down. Now the tanks are pulling back there to the side. Once they go back in, the tanks and Vultures and Marines are stronger than the Dragoons. Kills 1 Dragoon really easily. Tries to pick off at least 1 SCV while he's retreating towards his cannons. Tanks are going to siege up below a little bit too far away from the cannons themselves. Or not. Oh, he's within range. He's perfectly within range. He starts building bunkers there as well, and maybe a turret. Oh, goes for the attack. Kills. Ooh, both tanks there do go down. He's going in hard. Kills all the tanks. Turret gets cancelled just in time. Marines go into the bunker. 1 more tank there rolls up from behind. Dragoons pull back. We got a shuttle on the way. No Reaver there yet. Support bay is also not there yet. He's doesn't have a support bay, but he's going for a shuttle, so he might actually just try to get his units over the hill and go for a sneaky attack here into the backside. Also got a Civil of a Doom there on the way for 458, got Observer on the way as well. He shuttle is there in the front, that's finished. Vulture is running back and fro. Blazing mines all over the place. Mine triggers, he couldn't quite take it down before it burrowed up. 2 new cannons are being made to buy himself a little bit more time. Slowly got units trickling across the map, one by one. Got 3 factories and 1 more on the way for 4 total. Armory also being constructed. Minchul once again going for an all-in strategy, really trying to show off all of the early game strategies he's got up his sleeve. He's shown a different early game strategy every single time so far. 4-8, he knows he's got to buy himself some time. Goes in for a push, gonna try to take down the SCVs and vultures. Can't get any damage out on the tanks there though. I need a glass of water. Okay. So he's getting Dragoons behind enemy lines. It's Zealots behind enemy lines. Explodes the mine, gets on top of the tank. Front tank goes down. Tank in the back there also goes down. Spreads out the tanks once again. Now he's going to try to keep pushing forward with Dragoons onto the cannons. The Dragoons outranged the bunker because Minchul didn't go for an academy or marine range. So the front of the bunker goes down. More tanks are arriving on the scene, although his army size is still pretty much as small as it was when he started the attack. Because he's just been losing and losing vultures and tanks and marines as time went on. Also, Observer there in the air to detect the mine so he doesn't basically die to the mines. The mines do buy him some time, while the tanks in the back can fire on those units that are in the front. He'll place a couple more mines while the Dragoons are pushing all the way to the front, but 1 mine explodes, 1 Dragoon goes down. Tank is still shooting there in the back, another Dragoon goes down, kills the SCV. Observer survives with a little tiny sliver of health. Support base finished, got Zealot Speeder on the way. No upgrades for ground though. No upgrades for ground at the moment. Still pushing forward. We got about 6 factories now, they're back at home. Shuttle Speeder also on the way, also a Reaver under construction. Slowly pushing forward. He's really buying himself a great amount of time, but 4-8 so far has shown himself capable of holding on. A low Zealot there behind enemy lines. Zealots are being pulled into the tanks. 2 tanks, 1 tank goes down. Vultures all stay alive there though, but the mines have been cleared out. And now there's so many Dragoons. It looks like 4-8 can push through. Tank there in the back rolls away, buys himself a little bit of time by having a couple of structures in between the tank and the Dragoons. Rolls back home, where back at home here it doesn't have a whole lot. Holding vultures and tanks. Engineering Invader on the middle might buy him a tiny little bit of time. Got about 7-8 gateways here in the back. 4-5-8. Also have a Reaver finished up there in the backside. Shuttle did go down, so he's waiting for another shuttle to finish before he pulls up and picks up the Reaver. Go for a Reaver drop. Tanks here in the front are sieging up. There's a couple mines in between, also building a somewhat of a wall with depots to at least make it harder to have access to the tanks and the vultures. But 4-8 is looking mighty fine at the moment. He's very rich. He's very rich. He's just having trouble spending all that money coming into the bank. It's just so much money coming into the bank while dealing with a kind of difficult situation. But that's a lot of money he's got there in the bank. A lot of money. He's not expecting Minchul to push out, but Minchul is in fact pushing forward. Step by step, tiny bit by tiny little bit. He feels confident in his army. We've got the Zealot there on the bottom, Dragoon on the top. 4-8 is preparing for a counter drop. Minchul pushing forward once again. He's got 7 factory production against 8 gateway production. Number 9 is there being added on. Also got 2 more gateways being added on there on the side. Oh, actually, Minchul looked very weak for a small little moment when he got pushed away from 4-8's base. But now he's looking pretty strong again. He got a pretty strong ground tank vulture army. So we've got a shuttle drop there coming in from the bottom side, unopposed, nothing in between. Zealots are unloading. Reaver arrives on the scene. Reaver's going to shoot on the SCVs and kills a large chunk of them. So the bigger chunk is on the other side, kills the remaining only 13 SCVs left alive. But the push happening here at the same time into 4-8's base. It's a pretty big army. Got almost double the supply of Minchul. Reaver there back at home, still alive, still killing everything he can. But he doesn't care anymore. Now he knows, okay, I gotta commit to this. I've got nothing left back at home. I have to win it right here or right now. There's a lot of mines, a lot of vultures, a lot of tanks. A couple SCVs are in the mix as well, although they're going back home because they need some money. and he's got no income at the moment. Now he's unloading himself on top of the tanks. The goons are coming into the front door there, although there's mines in between. Tanks are doing their great job of killing all the goons he can, but he's also losing a couple of his tanks at the same time, although he does win the fight in the end. Now 4-8 has to wait for another wave of units to spawn. Can he hold out? Got to push forward there once again from Minchul. 4-8 there goes for the attack, tries to kill a couple of vultures, mostly to stay alive. Now there's mines being dragged into the tanks, themselves being dropped into other tanks, and a couple mines do go down, and now most of the army has shrunk. Just in a very short 10-second time frame, the army has been halved in size. And here back at home, looks like Minchul is back to mining minerals, but he is not that rich. He's got 10 SCVs, about 100 minerals in the bank, and there's a continuous stream of zealots coming from this base. Looks like Minchul knows it's over. He's going to call it GG very soon. It was a close call there. I think if he didn't get hit by that drop, he would have been completely fine. But just a little bit too aggressive here, just a little bit too eager to end the game really quick. And 4-8 just responded perfectly, even though he wasn't spending his minerals all that well. I mean, look at the bank there, 4,000 minerals. He responded perfectly as well as he could, with basically just great decision making and the exact right unit composition. Impressive comeback there, dealt with the pressure like an expert, and showed us that, yeah, he is really that good. He is really that good. So one more game from this set. Actually, I'm not too sure, because there's a couple more games in this set. I mean, the score currently is 1-1. It's a best of 5, which of course goes to say that we're gonna have at least 2 more games. But they are not very short. They're not very short games, like all the others have been so far. So I'm a little bit hesitant. Should I finish this set right here, right now? Or should I save them for another video? You know what? You know what? Let's just go all in. Let's just finish the set right here, right now. All the games of this best of 5. Let's get to them, enjoy them, watch them, commentate them, and have ourselves a little bit of fun seeing these two players trying to murder each other, beat each other, and just, you know, claim the title of being better than the other for now. Although, so far, Minchul has kind of been showing off his wide variety of strategies and skills. He's really been playing impressively. Not sure what he's saying here, but it's probably something not very important to us. So probably a bit of banter between the two. Nexus first there from 4-5-8, and we've got once again a mech build order coming out from Minchul. He starts off with gas and supply depot on 8 supply in total, and then goes for a barrack on 10 supply. There's 10 supply, and he's gonna wait for the depot to finish, and then he's gonna start his barracks, and then add 2. Wait. Oh yeah, there's the barracks. Wasn't sure where he's gonna place it. Like, my instinct says he's gonna place it somewhere around here or here. Instead, he's gonna place it right above the command center. Yeah, this is a mech build order. Gas depot on the same supply at 8, and at 10 you get a barracks. And then once the barracks finishes, you should have 400 minerals and 200 gas. Exactly. Give or take about 10 or 20. It's not exactly, but very close to 400 and 200. Usually a little bit more than 400 minerals. On the other side of the map, we've got 4-5-8 going for a typical corner spawn build order. Nexus, pylon, Nexus, forge, pylon in the front, gateway in the back, 2 cannons in the front. Some players go for 1, like Brain usually tends to go for a single cannon there in the front. He feels safe with just a single cannon, but I always see 4-5-8 go for 2 of them. Now 4-5-8 here goes to the corner location because he would have already been scouted if Minchul had been on this bottom middle spawn. A little bit of gambling here from 4-5-8. Minchul is in fact going to scout this bottom spawn there. He says question mark because he finds factories once again, and he's like, in his mind, it's, I already beat your factory build order, I'm not gonna let you do that again. But nope, Minchul is doing the factory build order again. The audacity, he's got the audacity to do the same build order he lost with again. But knowing Minchul, he's probably thinking to himself, I mean, he's an arrogant player, he's got a lot of pride in his veins, he really wants to make this work, he wants to win with a mech build order. That's why he's doing it again. If he had won, he probably would have gone to the next build order in his arsenal of build orders and gone with that one. But in this case, his pride won't allow him to move on. He has to win with the mech build order. So as a response, we got the same thing as last game. 4 of 8, adjusts his build order, goes for 4 gateways, and we will likely see him go for Dragoons. There's 2 Dragoons that are queued up, Dragoon range, and then of course 1 Robo, 1 Citadel. That is the most likely recipe, just the exact same thing as last time. He hasn't found him yet, although now he's finally locating where 4 of 8 is on the map. It is the bottom side map. Bottom left against bottom right. This time around though, he's adding on... Is that a factory? It's a command center. It is a factory. So this time around he is going for a bit of a safer build order. Also already choking up in the front. He's not gonna push. Last time the push didn't quite go as he had in mind. So now, even though he has the pride and has the arrogance that he usually does display, he has recognized that maybe I should play a little bit safer instead of trying to force the issue like last time. Dragoons are coming in, very early Dragoons. Machine shops are on the way there though, tank also on the way, double tank, they're on the way. Can't quite attack. That bunker was basically the perfect location. Perfectly timed. Looks like Minchul is onto something. He knew that 4 of 8 would probably respond like it did in the previous game, which was Dragoons. But instead of pushing, he goes for the defense and he places a perfect bunker in the perfect spot to buy himself some time before Dragoon range is finished. It looks like 4 of 8 cancelled Dragoon range and is once again adapting to the situation. He knows he probably can't push through with those Dragoons because siege mode is most likely finishing up any time now. There's probably also already some tanks. So he adjusts and adapts really quick. Not even a single moment of hesitation. He switches over, stops producing Dragoons, goes back to producing Zealots, and has support base finished up, goes for a Reaver shuttle instead. Shuttle speeder on the way in the air. And we've got Volter speeder on the way for Minchul. I don't know if he has mines yet. Wait, is he going for a push? Looks like he's going for a push after all. Maybe Minchul is just a master of the mind games. Did he just trick 458 into going for a different build order, and now he's adjusting and adapting again? Or was it simply an attempt to mine at the middle of the map, which would force 458 to at least get an observer and push through the middle of the map with Dragoons and observers, which would buy him a lot of time? He saw it. He saw the Vultures placing mines, his Dragoons are now stuck in his base. Which now means that we might see Minchul clear up the sides and place some mines for vision. Minchul is playing this one really beautifully. There's a lot of things going on with his planning. He's planning this game out really well. Basically, even though he hasn't attacked yet, he has not attacked yet, he is planning and keeping 458 a step behind on it. Honestly, really impressive. This is something I would expect from Brain. But I am pretty sure this is Minchul. Although I kind of want to check and make sure after the game whether this was maybe Brain. It just really feels like a Minchul game. So it comes out from the top side. Dragoon Goliaths are already on the scene, ready to snipe the shield out of the air. No Goliath range yet though. It looks like the shield arrives on the scene. He didn't notice it. Starts running away really quickly. really quickly running away. Lost only a couple of his SCVs, loses a couple more there though. Reaver Shuttle might be there on point. Reaver Shuttle is a little bit too low in HP. Reaver is forced to stay on the ground. He handled that pretty well, regardless of the fact he let the shuttle slip through despite having a lot of vision. Vision here, vision there, he saw it just fly all the way in, and he didn't respond to it until it was almost too late. He's holding on. And so is 4 of 8, who's now cleared up the middle of the map. Soldiers check the middle, there's a pylon being thrown down there. Observer has helped Dragoons clear out the cannons and the mines. I meant the mines, not the cannons, just the mines. 4 of 8 now adapting by going for 2 more robos, in total of 3. Stargate, they're on the scene for Corsairs to fly the shuttles in. He's spending his money really well this time, unlike last game. He's spending his money really quickly. Already on 7, 8 gateways and 6 more for a total of 14. All units on the middle, 145 supply, 65 probes, mining minerals. Minchul is slowly growing bigger as well. Doesn't have a choke yet. He's gonna wall this off with supply depots very slowly. Got a probe there, checking up on information. Got 4 cannons on the middle, 1 more probe on the middle to build more. Zealots are here running through, looking to kill Zealots and clear out mines, but now Dragoon's coming down to clear out the mines. He has to do that, of course, as well. Storm upgrade just finished up for 458. Also, level 1 attack finished up. For Minchul, we've got level 1 attack for ground. Finished up just now. Level 1 armor also on the way. Adding on more depots because he needs those. And still only on 5 factories, but 5 factory production might just do the trick. Reaver is slowing down a little bit with his play because he can't quite go in yet. His APM always skyrockets the moment he starts fighting. When he's building, everyone is a little bit slower. He's just taking his time here. Taking his time because he can't quite get in. He can't go through the front because there's tanks on the hill and tanks behind the depot wall. You can't go into the front. So he pulls back, he's maxed out. 458. What are you going to do next? You've got vision. You've got a shuttle there on the bottom side that you're not using at the moment. Because he might be anticipating tank drops, maybe. Minchul is slowly recovering his worker count. He's on triple command center. 1 is still under construction. 2 are finished up. Goliath's at the bottom. Goliath's at the top side. More tanks on the hill. He's really putting a lot of tanks on the hill. He really doesn't want 458 to break through the front. And also he's going to take down his cannons on the middle. Is really accurate play here from Minchul. I think once he hits about 65 SCVs, he's going to build a lot of factories. He needs a little bit more gas. He's adding on more gas now. He's mining on 4, adding on 2 more. Adding on 1 more command center for a total of 4. We've got the first frontal attack coming in there from 458, but tanks at the high ground are basically ruining the party. Starts to unload there on the hill. Great unload on the hill. Gonna unload behind the hill as well, but there's more tanks on this hill there on the side as well. Gonna try to break through the front door there. Tanks on the high ground are being annoying as hell. He's ignoring him at the moment. Well, he picked up a couple of zealots. He's picking up them now. Putting them on the high ground. Gonna take care of those tanks. He's breaking the front door. Goliath from the back to the front. Already preparing to put more tanks on the high ground. 458 is trying to break through. He's getting some results. Kill the wall. Kill stuff on the hills, but can't quite kill stuff here inside this frontal portion of the base because there's just so much there. And the tanks on the high ground really just having free fire all day on that mass attack. The 458 there, gonna clear out 1 more tank on the high ground. 2 Dragoons standing right next to the tank, hoping that the AoE will take it down, but it stays alive with a little bit of HP. No new wall being built there by Minchul, but instead he's focusing on adding more factories. He's gone from 5 to 8, and there's 2 more being added on, adding on more Stargates as well. Level 2 weapon attack finishing up within seconds. Very close to finishing. Level 1 armor has finished as well. We've got a lot of upgrades on the way there as well for 458. He's on triple forge, about 20 or so gateways. Getting Stargates there as well for carriers. He's on level 1 attack, 0 armor, 0 shield. Minchul isn't moving out. Oh, drop happening. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention that well. Drop got in. SVs did run away. I think he did kill about 10 or so. Okay, so he snuck a drop in. I didn't notice. I was too distracted. Another one already going across the map. There's an engineering beta in the air. It might spot it out. There's Goliaths there, not on the scene to intercept. Goliaths are not going to intercept this one. It's just going to fly straight into the whole shuttle unloaded on the high ground. Templar is on the scene. 1 storm, 2 storm. Kills almost no SCVs there though. Tries to kill a couple more of them, but SCVs do sneak out, although the shuttle, Templar still inside the shuttle. Tries to get one more storm off. Can't get the storm off. Only on 9 minerals there though. He spent the last remaining couple of his minerals while he was dodging the storms. And now 4 of 8 is taking control over the sides. He saw the engineering bay there. Gotta kill the engineering bay. Kill the tank on the high ground as well. And Minchul now trying to recover. He lost about 10 SCVs in the total. Lost about 30 seconds of mining time in total from both drops combined. But another drop already here on the way. Now pushing into the middle. He knows that he can't give 458 any more time to get the engine rolling, because the 458 engine has started roaring. It's roaring at full power. He tries to break through, mines are in between to buy some time. Got another shuttle there prepared to storm the tank there. Ooh, I like it. Storm on the tank on the high ground. Got a drop there on the side, vessel in the air to get extra vision and response time. So a couple of Goliaths still there on the bottom side, a couple tanks there on the back side, a couple turrets are in between as well, and 458 flies right in. Try to target fire the shuttle, but can't quite target fire the shuttle. Shuttle do arrive on the scene. SCVs are running away, groups of 12 at a time. Storms gets a very disappointing result with those storms, honestly. Thought he would get a couple more, but only gets about 2 or 4. Not the best hit, but it's a hit. The front here also killed a couple units. He almost broke through, but the tanks the high ground there, those two specifically, are just making things a little bit too difficult. So new cannons on the middle. He needs to buy himself a little bit more time for his follow-up attack. He's also getting a mind control. He's getting level 2 armor, shield, and level 3 attack. A couple more courses are on the way. Doesn't have any carrier technology paired yet, but the question is, of course, can he switch over into carriers or not? It's very unlikely that he is going to be able to switch over into carriers at this point into the game. A couple probes there being thrown away to open up supply space, getting more cannons up on the high ground. Well, not on the high ground, but on the side here. Getting cannons on the side, so there's no ability for tanks to be put on the hills. There's dragoons on the hills. I like this. Goliaths can fire onto dragoons though. Dragoons going to try to take down whatever they can from the high ground where they have the advantage. Going to try to clear out all those turrets. Tanks already moving in. Oh, got a shuttle drop there coming in from the low ground. Shuttle does arrive on the scene. Can he storm? He gets a pretty good storm off, but kills only... Not sure how Minchul does it, but he doesn't get... Every single time he dodges just in time, but I think at some point his SCVs will be on low HP. Because there's no medic here on the scene to heal them up. At some point, just a little tiny bit of a storm will kill all the SCVs if those SCVs are on low HP. Just let me show it real quick before we move on. A lot of low HP SCVs are inside this stack. Less than I thought though, but there's a lot of low HP in there. He's trying to put tanks over the high ground, but can't quite get the tanks on there. But a frontal attack happening here as well. Tanks on the high ground still doing a great job here of completely messing up the attacks. Being encircling tanks on the high ground, get taken down by the cannons very slowly. Very slowly, very slowly. No, it's gonna... Basically the cannons are missing too much. It's 50% chance to hit. And the cannons just miss so many times. The tanks do almost kill most of the cannons. Do go down in the end, but they got their results. Engineering bay there, providing vision for the tanks to shoot beyond the hills. Gonna load tanks to the high ground there as well. Got a very big drop here being prepared for 458. That's about 7 shuttles, Templars, Zealous Dragoons. Everything you want in a drop is right in there, except of course for the Reavers. We also want Reavers, but they're not inside the shuttles. So he's flying back to and fro. Where is he gonna go? I don't know. Might go for this tank up on the high ground. Might go for the frontal, for the topside attack, the topside angle, because most Goliaths are on the bottom side. Valkyries are in the back. There's almost nothing on the top side. A couple of Goliaths, a couple of Valkyries there as well. He's relocating, he's scanning, he goes in, flies in. Goliaths are moving, a little bit too far away there. Doe arrives on the scene, gonna unload right on top of the command center. Oh, that's a lot of units. Right there on the scene, gonna try to get the command center down. Kills a couple more SCVs there. Most SCVs are running away from home though, so no SCVs to repair the command center. He's gonna get it. Is he gonna get it? He's gonna get it. Command center goes down. He gets it with a pretty good attack. The Templars are still storming as these are running back and forth. One mineral left in the bank. There's no choke. Tanks on the high ground, they're still alive. They must have so many kills. 11 and 9. They've really done their job so far. Now it looks like Minchul is kind of in a pickle. So because he's in a pickle, he's gonna move out and go for the attack. Because he got level 3 attack finished on the tanks, which usually is a great sign to just, you know, call it and go for the attack. Just YOLO and go. Just YOLO and go. That's basically what you gotta do. When you're in this situation, you can't let the Protoss get carriers up out on the map. You gotta attack really fast. Attack really fast. He's clearing out the middle pretty quick. Got tanks on the high ground, Goliaths in between. Can't quite unload the shuttle on top of the tanks there. Oh, storms on the high ground though. He got one Templar out of the shuttle. He's progressing forward. Goliaths microing back and forth. More units coming from the base. Shuttle drop there, flying out. Gonna go in over the right side. Left side? Left side once again. Got Valkyries in between there though. Ready to take down the shuttles, but whether they can do it, I don't know, because he doesn't have any air upgrades at the moment. He does have some air upgrades. Shuttles both do go down, but Zealots are on the scene, ready to take down turrets on the side there. There's two tanks there. They're gonna try to clear this out. Got a couple Zealots that are running back and forth on the side. Now we've got an army here moving into the middle from 458. He just finished level 2 armor, I believe. Level 3 attack, so both players somewhat on the same upgrades. This doesn't have level 3 armor. He's getting air upgrades at the moment. He's happy with level 2 armor at the moment. Orvate grouping up on the middle, going for a very big mass attack there, right through. He's gonna try to ram right through his armor. Zealots are coming in. Goliaths are a little bit far out. Goliaths are getting hit by splash attacks as well. Zealots are running in between the tanks. Tanks on the high ground are now hitting tanks to the low ground. A lot of tanks to the front there just went down. Teams are contributing heavily and vitally, and most of the army of Minchul just got taken out. He's got more army under production from his 10 factories. Not a lot of factories. He's got a couple of dropships as well. Don't know if there's something in there. Now he wants to push forward, but finds that this is not a safe place to be. So he pulls back, once again set up on the same spot from just earlier. A lot of mass detector on the middle from 458 spreading out, going in for the attack. There's one mine there on the side. Might assist him a little bit, doesn't. Unsieges, pulls back, thanks to the high ground, got stormed down. He's pulling back into his base. A lot of units are on the chase. Stops his Dragoons there though, doesn't push his Dragoons in, lets his Zealots splash damage on the tanks for now. Corsairs coming across the map, ready to take down the dropships, maybe for the Valkyries as well. They have upgrades on these Corsairs, 1-2-1, not great, but likewise, Minchu also on 1-1. So both players for air about the same upgrades. Now another frontal attack happening. Keeping up the pressure, mines being placed, there's no detection on the scene, but there's, I think, just enough Dragoons to take down the mines the moment they show up before they can trigger. One archer in the front, tank the high ground once again, and Minchu leaves the game because there's... Ooh, he flew in that storm drop. I was focused on a storm drop, but I missed it just there at the end. It just slipped out of my eyesight at the very last moment. Yeah, 458 wins again, so it's a 2-1 score at the moment. He goes in very soon. He's got the drop somewhere prepared. Preparing the drop. Basically, we're looking at the Corsairs flying across, going for the attack. So the frontal distractions here happening. Minchul is playing as hard as he can because he can't afford to lose anything at all. Drop there, flying across the map. Corsairs taking down those Valkyries. And, oh, is he gonna go in? Oh, there's only 3 turrets there. He took down most of the turrets earlier with the Zealot, so starts to load one Zealot. Now he goes straight for the SCVs, arrives on the scene, while Minchul is fighting in the front, storms with basically storms everything to death. Basically everything went down and 14 SCVs left, all on the gas, which pretty much means GG because he got 9 minerals, and consistent frontal pressure trying to break down his front door and end him. Trying to end him. And he did. He won the third game. Third game of the set goes to Minchul, which means now we got game number 4. Same matchup, because this is just a Terran against Protoss matchup between these two. Their favorite matchup for sure. So 2 wins for Minchul, 2 losses for Minchul, 2 wins for 458. And now we're in game number 4. This is going to be the last one. Or do we still have even more, just one more game after this one? Well, one way to find out who is going to win game number 4. Is it going to be Minchul, who's going to try to even up the score, or is it going to be 458, who is already currently in the lead? But my mouse is tripping out. Sorry for that one. Minchul is just completely throwing rushing bolt orders out of the window. Command center first, and honestly, it might work because he's on a corner spawn on almost the opposite side of the map, which should give him enough time to get the command center finished and get Marines produced afterwards before the Zealots can even really hurt him. He has to micro really well though. He has to micro himself really exceptionally well. He can't afford to lose those Marines. But I'm not expecting him to make such micro mistakes. He's not just going to lose Marines for no reason. Definitely not. Well, triple barrack there on the way. Really quick triple barracks. Starts scouting as well. Got a probe there coming in. 458 has found his nemesis. He's on the scene. 458 there. Double gateway. Nexus. The usual middle spawn bolt order. Although I've seen him sometimes do 1 gateway Nexus and only have a single Zealot for defense and pushing. He's moving across the map as they're still trying to find out where 458 is located. Meanwhile, they're just getting a bunker in the back because he knows most likely, not for certain, but he knows most likely, there are going to be some Zealots knocking on my front door, and I don't want them to hurt me. He's here to collect the taxes, and he doesn't want to pay taxes. This is a match of tax evasion. Comes in. 4 Marines in the bunker. 3. Shouldn't be too difficult. The bunker is placed just exactly so that it protects the SCVs. He's still going to lose 1 or 2 SCVs though if he isn't careful. Loses nothing. It's very good juggling around like those 3 SCVs. There's 1, 2 more shots. Yeah, very well played there. Just like he pulls the SCV that's getting attacked out of the mineral stack and pulls to the side. Zealot can't follow, can't track, and goes down. Zealot there on the bottom corner there though, do get a couple kills once again, wants to go in for those SCVs in the backside. Walls them off. I like it. I like it a lot. That depot there was very nicely placed. So yeah, both players with their +1 Nexus or Command Center Bolt order start the game just perfectly fine. Cannons come up there in the front for 458. Minchul there securing its own choke. Zealots can't get in anymore. Which means we're now going into the mid stage where we're gonna see some clashes of technology coming out from 458. We're gonna see some Robos after Cybercore, or maybe something else. Honestly, it could be a couple of options. He went for triple Nexus. Very greedy. He wants all the economy, wants all the money in his bank, which kind of means he can go for a variety of options. He wants to have more money than Minchul, but Minchul also ending on a 3rd command center, so he's going to catch up just fine. He doesn't need a big army because, well, 458 with his triple Nexus is not going to have a big army anytime soon. The Nexus costs him a lot of money, and producing probes also costs more than you would expect. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it does take a little while before his economy is where he wants it to be with the triple nexus. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for sure. He's getting a Citadel and double Robo though. He's also continuously ending on a couple of Zealots, although he halted Zealot production for the moment. He's going to move across the map, hopefully intercept those Marines, but the Marines are coming in hot. His 3 cannons in the front, he's chasing down the Zealots. Zealots probably might lose one of them, or just be very low HP. Arrives at the choke in the front there. Oh, very low HP indeed. Look at this one. Very low HP on a couple Zealots. Lost his shields on some of them. This one almost lost its shield. Adding on 2 more cannons, adding on 2 more gateways in the front. He has to burn through the gateways first. He wants to buy himself a lot of time to get at least the shuttle and the double Reaver finished from his robos. Support bay there. On the way. A little bit delayed. As you can see, it doesn't match up quite perfectly. Not exactly as planned, but it should. Basically lost 4 or 5 seconds on the finish until he started the Reavers. Well, he's adding Shuttle Reaver. Templar Storm on the way. Shuttle Speeder also on the way. Kind of surprised that he isn't getting his second Reaver. Minchul pushing away, pulling away. You're probably going to see some Templars from 458. Getting a Stargate here on the side for Corsairs. Getting a couple more gateways as well. He's expecting something in the front, but not going to happen. Cancelled one gateway got taken down. Minchul retreats back home. Splits up his Marines all over the map for vision. He really wants to spot those shuttles coming in. He knows they're coming. So double raid there already in the front. Went for triple starport after a single factory. Didn't produce a lot more extra Marines while he was building the factory and the starports. Got the drops they're finishing up. 2 tanks in the front ready to be picked up, flown across the map to go for the tank drop. Only 3 cannons are in the back. He's not expecting a tank drop anytime soon. But knowing Minchul, always expect the unexpected. But how can you expect something that you're not expecting? It's simply impossible. 2 tanks that are going across the map. Spots out the dropship though. Might give him the cue that he has to pull back. But it might be too late. Maybe he didn't even notice it. Decisive returned home as anti-drop. Got 3 command centers, 60 SCDs, 66 probes. If this drop hits, it's gonna be disastrous for 458. He's already flying in. Pulls his probes away, but a little bit too late. Gets first shot, second shot, killed about 35. Killed about 35. It was about 66 or 70, down to 36. The timing couldn't have been worse because he hasn't even attacked yet, not once. He did clear out the sides here though. He did clear out the Zealots, but the raids are flying back and forth, now killing the Zealots. Taking back side control. The air is mine. It will be mine forever and ever. I'll never give you an inch. Scans 458's base. I can't see it though, because stupid game. Oh, he scanned the sides. He scanned the sides. He didn't scan 458's base. Okay. He didn't scan the base, so he doesn't quite know the timing of this shuttle drop coming in for the bottom side. We do have Marines in between and raids pulling back home. Saw them with the Marine. They're on the side. Shuttle tries to break through. One shuttle makes it in. Gets taken down by perfectly controlled Wraith and Marine combined damage. This game now looks pretty bad for 458. I think we can all see and feel it coming. We can all feel it happening. That's on. 3 more factories, all at the same time. 73 SCVs before the 10-minute mark. 150 supply. Supply unlock at the moment throws out more scans. What will we see here inside? Wait, wrong. Never mind. I clicked on the wrong player. Now we see the backside. Probably scanned the front side as well. So we kind of know what he saw. My bad for clicking on the wrong name there. He knows drops are soon going to be on the way. You got more vision once again on the sides, but some medics, Marines are on the sides. Getting upgrades now as well. Tanks are still on 0-0. Marines are on 1-0. Not getting level 2 attack, as Mong would, for example, do. Tank drop there, flying across the map. Gonna find a nice little sweet spot. to drop from, but it got spotted out there by this one zealot. There's one spot right there. Can't drop from here. There's too many cannons, although those two haven't finished yet. But there's still a little bit of time to get right in there and maybe get the kill. Goes in. Tanks are gonna have to unload very soon. One tank. Nope. Goes down. Couldn't get anything happen. How is this gonna end? How is this gonna end for 458 or for Minchul? 458 has clawed himself back into the game by having just enough time and having triple nexus. But he hasn't physically touched Minchul yet. And he's supply blocked at the moment. A lot of minerals there though, but things are looking pretty bad. There's just a lot of defenses here. There's also raids just flying back and forth that he can't deal with. He scans the spot, finds them on the chase. Shuttles are a little bit too far ahead of the race there, though. Marines are in between. He's gonna try to stick down one of the shuttles. Shuttles are loading on the bottom side there, though. But flying all the way in. Chasing down the race, but there's no observer. He got taken down. Storm's on his own course there, trying to take down the race, and he doesn't really get that much done. Kind of a desperate attempt to make something happen. Maybe he didn't even have to unload his shuttles. I don't know. Maybe he could have just flown all the way in. Maybe he could have arrived because the raids were a little bit too far behind. A little bit too far behind. Maybe he could have gone for the home run. Now though, looks like Minchul is tired of waiting. And he's gonna scout ahead with his Marines just to see if there's anything on the middle to be worried about. 458 still supply blocked at the moment. Waiting for... He didn't pull any pylons though. He's just really not feeling it today. He's just really not feeling it. I can see that 458 is not having one of his best days. Definitely not. He's preparing everything he needs, everything he has to do. He's just not on point today. Even in the previous game, he wasn't on point. Previous two games he did win. He didn't look as sharp as he usually does. Once again tries to fly in, but once again so much vision and raids already on the way to take down those shuttles. He changes direction just in time. Takes down the shuttles with beautiful volleys. Now moving across the map there. Minchul has pretty much already won the game at this point. Oh, it's a double drop arrives on the scene. Tricky stuff. But no Templars in the shuttle, so he loses the shuttles. He was banking on the shuttles from the top side. The shuttles from the bottom side were empty. Oh, is he going for another tank drop? Got a Valkyrie there to take shots from the cannons. Double dropship there coming out. Units are out there on the middle. It's basically just units strewn about everywhere on the map. Minchul is ready to go in. Raids are ready to go in as well. Vessels are not there yet. Does he have EMP? I don't know. We got intercepting capacity on the way for 458, but there's tank that's on the way as well. Tank that's gonna shoot their load, bam, take down all the probes, and they are gone. From 73 down to 16, and Minchul wins the game really quickly and says Naga. Naga, which basically means out or leave. 458 just didn't have a good game. It happens. Minchul just dominated. Basically just two tank drops and a beautiful Wraith anti-shuttle defense. Really quick victory for Minchul. But the score is 2-2. Score is 2-2. Which now means we're going into game number 5, the very last game of this set. Minchul against 458. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? What is gonna happen? What's gonna happen? 458 here on the top right of the map. Minchul on the bottom middle of the map. Okay. What's gonna happen? We've seen Minchul play 6, I don't know, a lot of different strategies so far. And he couldn't make his mech bolt order work. But now we're looking at a cheese. A cheese bolt order. He's back to the cheese from game number 1, 2, 3, and 4. He wants to win this one quick and in a dominating fashion. So double barracks moving to the middle. We've recently seen Brain do something similar, like this. And it was phenomenal to watch. It was a lot of fun. But is this gonna work? 458 is very, 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 very far away. And he's going for double gateway. That spells trouble for Minchul. This spells trouble because this is basically the opposite of what you want the Protoss to be doing. You want the Protoss to be going for a Nexus first, not for double gateway. And you want the Protoss to be pretty close, not far away. Because he's so far away, it's going to take a long time before he finds out where Minchul is located on the map. And when he finds 458, 458 will already have 2 Zealots ready to fight. Neither player quite know yet what is happening. Minchul, desperate to find his opponent. Desperate. He really wants this. He wants to end this. He's expecting a risky early build order from 458, where he goes for a Nexus first. He's going for an early Nexus, that's for sure. But it's 2 Zealots first. Finds the 2 barracks, finds the Marines walking across the map. He's going to arrive on the scene and find 2 gateways and probably call GG. Finds the 2 gateways, finds the Marine goes in. He knows it's over. He's going to try to make it work though. Nope, he knows it's over. He knows it's over. He knows. A very disappointing ending to what was actually a really beautifully played set by Minchul. But Minchul himself kind of decided to just go for a rock, paper, scissors gamble at the end. I mean, it worked for him before. It worked for him before in the first best of 5. But the gambling, his luck just ran out. 458 didn't want to lose, so went for something safe. And Minchul just so happens to dig his own grave. Thank you for watching. It's RGB for RGB TV. A fun best of 5 with a lot of great things happening for both players. Interesting strategies. And sadly, kind of a letdown at the end. Kind of not what I was hoping to find at the end of the rainbow.